Time for the week 1 preview, part 2. Collaborators, mount up.
Sounds like football, baby.
What is up? It's Friday. We're getting you set for week 1. Football is here. If you're listening to this on Friday, the Thursday night game, Houston at Kansas City, got week 1 kicked off, hopefully in the right way. We're recording this before the game, so we don't know. But I'm your host, Kyle, of the Fantasy Football Smackdown. You can follow me on Twitter at KyleFFFellas. And in this little collaboration space, the host of the Word on the Streets, Bob at Bob's3Toad on Twitter. How's it going, bro?
Going good, man. As you said, Bob's3Toad on Twitter and Bob's3Toad Warriors on YouTube, so you can watch our pretty little faces and see our expressions as I say stupid stuff. And Kyle just shakes his head. That's what it's all about. Having a good time and giving you all good information to help you win your weeks. So
yeah, yep, absolutely. And the YouTube thing, definitely check it out if you're a SmackDown listener. I have no YouTube presence at all, so I'm piggybacking off of Bob here. But we're having some fun. If you missed part 1, we covered the first 8 games of the week. That included 7 of the 1 o'clock kickoff. So if you're not hearing a game here, you might have been on the previous show. Go back, check that out, and give it a listen. Again, we are recording this prior to the Thursday night football game. So Houston, Kansas City, won't talk about it on today's show. But make sure you're subscribed to both feeds so you get every episode, whether it's bonus episodes, collaborations. Yeah, it's going to be in your feed twice for today's show. But hey, man, it helps us out. It's all good. Continue to support both podcasts. And then we're going to be back at it on Tuesday morning. We're going to be bringing you a waiver wire show. So that's going to kind of be the schedule here going forward as far as our collaboration goes. But we got a good slate of games to talk about today. What's up, man?
And Tuesday night, we got the live stream, which is on the YouTube being streamed and on Twitter being streamed. And that's where sometimes you see Kyle hop in there with me. But having anywhere between 1 and 5, 6 guests on there, just BSing, having a good time, recapping the week, what we loved, what we didn't, what we're thinking, what we're hyping, just having a good time, answering questions for you guys as you're setting your waiver wires on Tuesday nights, pulling your hair out, wondering what to do. If you listen to our waiver wire show in the morning, you wouldn't have to pull your hair out so hard, but hey, that's okay. When you're still on tilt, sitting there debating, let us know. We'll help you out. So it's a good time. So make sure you're subscribed on the YouTubes there. So
you've had some full houses in there, man. Like I remember, the one I was like, holy crap, he's got there was 6 people in there. I definitely, I know you had John that night, I think, and Seth, and
your boy Addison Hayes was on with me. With me yesterday. Time is a weird space right now. Yeah, talking about Friday, but on Wednesday it was Tuesday. So
you'll get used to it. You'll get used to it.
Exactly. Finally got my numbers in order with my week. This is episode 44 for me. So finally getting those numbers in order. So
when you have a bunch sitting in the can, ready to go, doing your listeners right, obviously by having stuff ready, but then you got to plan, like, okay, what is this? When am I dropping this and everything? Right. So it's you kind of fall into a good rhythm here though, as we're getting into the season. And we get, like I said, we got 8 games to talk about today. We got a couple of 1 o'clock games still. We got the late afternoon, and we got 3 primetime games this week in week 1, as we have the 2 Monday night games this week. Both of our teams are playing in primetime right out of the gate in week 1. So we got a lot to look forward to this upcoming Sunday. So why don't you take it away, man? Where are we getting started at?
We're getting started with the last 2 games of the Sunday 1 o'clock slate. And that first one we're talking about is, I don't know if it's an exciting game or not, but it's Indy versus Jacksonville. And if you want to stream a defense, it might be Indy, might be an option for you this week, because Jacksonville's looking a little rough, but we'll see. They don't know what they want to do. If they want to remain a team, everybody wants to just flip off the front office on their way out the door. We're not sure what's going on over there, but let's start with the Indy side of the ball. At quarterback, are you liking anybody there?
Oh, Phil, yeah, man. Give me Phillip Rivers. He played this same Jacksonville team last year. He lit them up for 314 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's 28 fantasy points for old Phil last year against this same team. Now he's in a new place, New Jersey, but he's got a familiar face as the head coach, Frank Reich, former coordinator of the Chargers. So I think Phil comes right out of the gate strong, man. And he's, for me, he's my quarterback 16 this week. I don't think
31, baby.
31 for you. Why are you hating on old Phil?
Because he's old Phil.
He's don't get me wrong. He's definitely not the guy that he was 3-4 years ago where, we were talking about him like when we started the Fellas podcast back in the day. We loved Phil, man, because he was somebody you could get super late and he'd be a top 12 QB. I don't think he's a top 12 QB on the season, but I think for this week, though, I like him a lot. I think he's going up against one of the worst defenses in the league. It's going to be he's going to be somebody that I'm targeting at 29% ownership. He's a streamable candidate, depending on some of the guys we talked about yesterday. Like I like Rivers over like Cam Newton. I like him over Ryan Fitzpatrick. So there's some guys that I think if you're looking to stream 29% owned in Yahoo League, Phillip Rivers, he's a solid play for me this week.
You like him quite a bit over Cam Newton.
Yes, I do.
Quite a bit over Cam Newton, I might add. I'm thinking, I was looking at that while you were saying that. I'm like, that could be a little addition to the waiver wall because I found another one for us, so we needed an extra one too anyway.
All right, let's do it. We'll wager that one. We'll go Phillip Rivers straight up against Cam Newton.
All right, that's a bet.
That's a bet, man. We talked about Cam on yesterday's pod, so go back and check that out on where we differ. But, yeah, man, I'm okay starting Rivers. You're not. But what about these running backs, dude? Jacksonville, horrible against the run last year. I mean, they were giving up a touchdown per game pretty much to the running backs. I mean, and in addition to just a truckload of yards, they lost Ngakoue. They got weak. They traded Calais Campbell earlier this offseason. They are porous on the defense, to say the least. But we have these question marks. Is it going to be Jonathan Taylor out of the gate? Marlon Mack, Nyheim Hines, what are we doing? Who are you starting?
So I got Mack at 24. You got him at 22. So that's a low-end RB2. I'll take it. I'll start him. And then, especially if I can start him in my flex, that's beautiful there. And JT, I got him at 30. Surprisingly high for me. You got him at 35. You're being a little more reasonable, level-headed. I was actually surprised I was that high on him because in general, I'm kind of low on him. But yeah, the Fantasy Pros has him at 23. They got him basically where we have Marlon Mack, and they got Marlon Mack at 31. So almost basically flipped from what we think. I'm not putting the rookie in the driver's seat just yet, even though it's a good, beautiful matchup. I don't know. Maybe they get off to a good lead and they're like, all right, let's see what the rookie has and just disrespect you, Mac. But if Mac's doing bad, I get it. But if he's doing good, do you push him out of the way already?
Yeah, I think this is a great game. If you drafted Marlon Mack, I think this might be the only one. Who knows, right? Like we love Jonathan Taylor. Everybody does. But yeah, like you said it, man, we're kind of opposite of the consensus right now. We're at Fantasy Pros. I think JT's a fine flex if you want to just take the shot that he gets the lead role or gets enough carries to provide you that flex appeal. But in my opinion, Mack is somebody that you drafted super late that. For me, he's a start this week. I'm playing him over. I'm playing over Gibson, Kareem Hunt, Leonard Fournette. I'm playing over everybody on the Lions, anybody on the Patriots, anybody on the Dolphins this week. I mean, those are some guys that you might have drafted as potential starters, like Jordan Howard, potentially there. But I think Mack is just a fine safe play. Like if I really had to like a closer one like Le'Veon Bell back to back, I'd play Marlon Mack. So sure. It's definitely something you should consider, even though he wasn't in your lineup as you left the draft type of thing.
Sure. T.Y. Hilton, also a nice little flex, either flex or a low end two there. I got him at 22. You got him at 24 again. We're right by each other there. Fantasy Pros has him at 26. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty comfortable starting him there. That's about the only receiver I'm comfortable starting there. And then over at tight end, I thought one of us would be higher on baby hands Jack Doyle. Guess he doesn't rule here. But I got him at 18. You got him at 18. Fantasy Pros has him at 19. So we're not really digging that much.
No, like
even though he has the quarterback that supposedly loves tight ends. So
yeah, I'd play him over. Like I have him a couple spots. I have just ahead of like Noah Fant, who we'll talk about later. But TJ Hawkinson, we talked about that game yesterday. I have Doyle above him. So like, that's somebody that, again, if you want to, we talked about that with the quarterbacks a little bit on yesterday's show. If you have a guy that's ranked higher for the week, when you're breaking it down from a fantasy owner perspective, there's a guy on the waivers that I would start over him this week, but are you then dropping the other guy that you drafted to be your starter? Are you burning 2 roster spots on that position? So definitely consider those things when you're looking at tight end and QB on a given week there. But yeah, a little bit lower. There's just other guys I liked, man. So okay. I think that's pretty good on Indy. I think that's going to be, once we get the running back situation panned out, I think you're going to be looking at 3 pretty solid starters there on a week in and week out basis. But What about Jacksonville, man? I'm not sure what to do with this team out of the gate. I think Indy is pretty decent. What's your thoughts on Minshew in week 1?
Oh, what's my thoughts on Minshew week 1? I think Minshew's been running for his damn life, getting me some yards. In quarterback position, yards is king, especially if you're playing in 4 points per quarterback. I got him up at quarterback 8 ski. 8. That's definitely a ceiling, I think. But I got him up there flying high, getting some points and playing some garbage time. I think his last name is actually Bortles, not Minshew, this season. So hopefully to give him enough seasons to show off that he can actually make something happen. But yeah, this is not going to be good for him. But in garbage time, that's all we care about. We don't care about if you get the L. So
yeah, I like Minshew as a.
No, you don't.
If you need a streamer, I got him at 20. I don't like him as much as you do. We are way off on that. He's only 27% owned right now. So I like him. Again, I have him over. I have him over Daniel Jones, Baker Mayfield, who we're going to talk about actually in a minute. Weirdly enough. And I thought, do I have him over Cam too? Where the hell's Cam Newton in here? I have over Cam Newton. So I would put Minshew in those spots. And again, only 27% owned right now. He's going to be a player where you don't want to watch those games, but as the days kind of fading out or that game's fading out, you're going to be watching him put up a lot of points, I think, in garbage time. So that's where I'm at with him.
Well, here's a question for you. We were going to throw up, we talked pre-show, between shows, Minshew versus Wentz. Mm-hmm. What about Minshew versus Big Ben? You got Ben at 8. I got Minshew at 8. I got Ben at 23, and you got Gardner at 20. That's about as even as it can get.
I'll take that one. That one's fine. We'll do that one. Put it up there. That's a good wager there. If anybody that was not a listener of the Fantasy Football Fellows, we used to have the wager wall, which I used to clean the floor with Seth over there. So hopefully Bob has better success. But we'll if you guys want to follow along, we'll keep track of these things, and I usually post them up on Twitter on Sunday, so that way, if you're like me, you're in a billion leagues and you just want something else fun to kind of keep track of on the day. But we'll recap it on the waiver wire show on Tuesday, and we'll kind of see who came out on top here. So I think that's a good one. What about these running backs, man? Because
no, thank you. Well, I say no, thank you. And then I say, where is Mr. Thompson?
Dude, I don't even know.
Oh, shit. Never mind. I got him down at 49, 48. I got him 49. You got him 48. I mean, he has an opportunity in garbage time with a bunch of PPR dumps. Just here's the ball, here's the ball, here's the ball, here's the ball, here's the ball. Getting a bunch of points. So that number could be a lot higher, but I just don't trust this backfield whatsoever. And then the actual starter, and there was air quotes for those not watching on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. I'm staying far away.
Yeah. So right now, Chris Thompson, like you said, you mentioned him there. PPR, I think that's fine. If you're in a deeper league, you got to plug him in there. But he's not in the top 45 for either of us. And Robinson is somebody that you just have to roster and see what happens. I don't know whether it's a Zigbo or whatever, man. I'm okay rostering any of those guys, but I'm not necessarily one to play them with confidence.
Here's the problem I have with it is if you're not taking the pass catching, we're trailing, get a bunch of receptions, running back. What are you taking? The guy who's not scoring, and he's just getting yardage between the 20s. Yeah, great. What's it going to do for you? So that's why I'm not loving any of that.
Well, and Fournette last year, he didn't score. He had 3 touchdowns, but he had the passing game, right? He had 70 receptions. But now that role is probably going to be split. So now you're in trouble when it's one guy who's not scoring, but he's catching passes. That's fine. You can live with that. You don't love it, but you can live with it. And I agree with you. I think that it's fine to roster these guys, but don't get crazy. Like, oh, he's a starter. Like, who cares? Don't play Boston Scott.
I saw Fab being spent. I'm like, thank you for getting that Fab out of my way. It's like a draft pick coming down to me.
Yeah, that's true, man. I hear you on that one for sure.
Tight end? No.
Well, DJ Chark still an auto go. He's going to be my guy all season long. Yep. You actually have him at 10, so you're really digging it. I got him at 16. Consensus is 18. This guy's a star. He's even if you draft him as your wide receiver 3, find a way to get him in your lineup, whether it's a wide receiver 3 flex, doesn't matter. Love Chark this season for the same reasons we kind of talked about with Minshew. There's nobody.
He's going to be the Allen Robinson of the year.
Oh yeah, dude. I think Chark's in for a big year, and everyone drafted him. Even after a while, when people kind of got wise to it, he was around 5 pick, and that's still stealing in my opinion. Like I think he's going to be top 15 guy this year. So.
All right, let's move away from that fun game. Let's go over to Cleveland and Baltimore, baby. Here's something that could be a great game. So I'll start on the Cleveland side, and you got Baker at 29. I got him at 25. Outside of Superflex, we're not looking to start him this game. The running back scenario, though, ooh, doggy. The man's getting paid, scaring people off. You got Chubb at 16. I got him at 19. And Hunt.
We both got him at 25.
Thank you, because
which is right there with consent. Right there with the consensus on Kareem Hunt. On Chubb, we're a little bit lower. Consensus 14. We're just a hair below. Baltimore is just a good defense, So we saw it, but the thing is, you can't bench him. Like if you're, having him ranked where we have him, like it would be really hard to bench him. Like it's when you see somebody ranked like that, it's probably with the idea of, DFS, maybe steer clear a little bit, right? And what you saw last year, Chubb had one game he struggled, but the first game against Baltimore, he blew up 3 touchdowns, over 100 yards, huge week. So I think you got to plug and play Chubb. Hunt is somebody that, we'll see, but apparently after getting paid, we're going to see this for a few years on how this backfield is going to be split. Unfortunately, because man, I targeted Hunt a bunch in some drafts, dynasty drafts this offseason with the idea of like, oh man, he's gonna be somewhere else next year.
Yeah.
Well, that's not gonna happen. So
speaking of people blowing up, let's go to Odell Beckham Jr. I got him at 12. You got him at 29. Surprisingly high for myself on him. Looking for him to have a good game. Hopefully he takes a shower first.
Boy.
And Jarvis. So you're not liking starting him?
I just don't. I don't really. I'm not excited about starting any of these guys outside of the running backs. I think Baker's in for a rough game. Baltimore was number 2 against quarterbacks as far as fantasy points go, so I'm steering clear, which means I don't think there's a ton out there for these receivers. I'm still playing them. They're both inside my top 30.
See where I have Jarvis? So I got Jarvis at 18. 28. So you think Baker would have a good game based on that, right? Those 2 guys and Hunt.
I think it's gonna be difficult for them both to have a good game here. I honestly, I don't know. I have them ranked back to back, which I hate doing, but in this case, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, just based off the fact that I think it's a tough matchup. So
sure,
I don't
think buried.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody like I'm just kind of glancing through here. Like there's nobody crazy that I'm starting over them. Like there's nobody I picked up off the wire or anything like that I'm playing. Like I'm not playing Deshaun Jackson. Like he's kind of a trendy, like week 1 darling type thing.
Mari Cooper. I'm starting Mari Cooper over him.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's a big deal. Yeah. I mean, I think if you draft him, you got to play him,
Yeah.
So and Hooper, no, thank you. We're both having 20th or worse. So
yeah. All right, let's go over to Baltimore because everybody's starting Lamar Jackson that got him, so we don't really need to talk about that at all.
Nope.
At running back, you are an Ingram man, and I am a crazy Ingram man this season.
Yeah.
I don't think Dobbins pushes him away nearly as much as he does the Gus Bus. Mm-hmm. And maybe not right away, but he does. So I got Ingram up at 11. You got him at 15 since Fantasy Pros has him at 18. So we're saying fire up Ingram, fire him up, get him out there. And I think the general thing that between this show and last show that I've been noticing, thank you.
General thing.
Yeah, I got it. It took me a second. I'm like, wait, did I say a wrong player's name? No. All right. Cool. All right. So, damn you. So is that if you have those running backs that have scary rookie running backs behind them, play them while you got them, especially if they got a good matchups, because you might just be holding on to something that you might be cutting in 6 to 8 weeks. So play them while you got them, especially if they're supposed to be 11, 15 like we're thinking.
Yep.
That's that. And J.K. Dobbins, 43 and 46. So we're not thinking he has the game yet.
He's consensus 33. I don't get it. Like we saw last year, Gus Edwards had I think 100 carries or so. Like
a little bit over.
You know, but like you never knew when you were going to get them. Like if they get ahead, maybe they do look to get these guys in the game involved. But I don't get that at all. Like for me, that's craziness. So I'm not riding J.K. anywhere.
Yeah, I think until he steals the job, he's hanging out. And once I see him steal the job, let's talk about it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Tight end, we're firing up the tight ends. So that's not a question. Mark Andrews, he's getting lit up until he's got lit up and broken. So keep playing him.
Yeah, Marquise Brown, 28 in consensus at the wide receiver position. I'm at 33. You have at 37. So he's a flex if you need. But the problem is, like, you know, he was really productive on the limited targets and catches he had last year. Does that continue? I'm still a believer, or a non-believer, I guess, in Lamar's production numbers, you know, the touchdown percentage being what it was. So I'm gonna probably be lower than Brown on the consensus every week. So that's gonna continue here, and you're right there with me. So
let's fly out to Los Angeles Chargers, and let's talk about that game. Los Angeles Chargers,
and then we're flying back to Cincy because that's where they're
playing.
I
know. I keep saying the team that I'm seeing first versus where they're at. How about you start writing that backwards for me on the show?
Well, it's supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be.
It is supposed to be like this. You are correct. Bob, act like you've been here before. All right, so Chargers versus Cincinnati. Since you rattled me there, why don't you get us started?
I love Tyrod Taylor this week. I think he's somebody that you can definitely plug and play. The Cincinnati Bengals defense is horrible. I wish Mike Williams was out there. He's kind of a question mark. It went from 1 day. He's out all September. He might be back week 1. I don't care. For Tyrod, he's a player that I think gives you a pretty safe floor. He's 8% owned right now. Cincinnati gave the 4th most fantasy points to quarterbacks in 2019. I had Tyrod Taylor at 15, so I'm not slam dunking him over everybody, but I would play him over Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, Cam Newton, Kirk Cousins, Daniel Jones. Like, again, if you have the roster spot to kind of plug and play, stream a guy, Tyrod Taylor, not just for this week. He has some really good matchups over the next couple weeks. Gets Kansas City in week 2. That's going to be a boat race. So Tyrod's a guy that I think is a multiple week stream. It starts right now, 8% owned. He's your guy. Go get him. You're right there with me. You're one spot ahead of consensus. So he's definitely a name that normally wouldn't probably be in that top, 20 range, and he's there for this week. So I think he's got to keep an eye on.
Yeah, he's at 2 o'clock. All right, fine.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's no quarterback injuries this week, so we're pretty straight up. But I do think that I would play him over some of those guys if I got the extra roster spot. I think he's got more upside. So we know we're playing Eckler. He's top 10. Not yet on Kelly or Jackson for, we got to kind of see how that one shakes out. But who's your guy? Who's your guy for in that backfield behind Eckler? Is it Jackson or Kelly for you, or do you not care?
I don't care right now, but if I'm going to stash one, I'm going to stash Kelly. Yeah, I'll take the rookie hype versus the guy who was okay, but I'm all about you play a few dynasty leagues, you get that rookie hype, and the guy's got some talent. So yeah.
I mean, so I'd also take, I'm with you. I like Kelly. I have him stashed up, but I almost have option C. Like, I hope neither of them are any good, so Eckler gets a lot of work.
There you go. Wide receiver, Keenan Allen, you got him at 18. I got him at 31, so I'm taking him as a flex at best. But you got him at 18, so that's fine. Any other options on that side of the ball? Hunter Henry is an obvious call, right around that, getting towards that flex-ish tight end, but that's about it, I think.
That's kind of it. No Mike Williams, more than likely. Even if he plays, I'm not playing him. It's a good matchup and everything, but just no need. I think you're fine to keep. You didn't have to draft him early at all, so I think you hit it right, Allen. I think it's a wide receiver 2, and Henry's a play. I mean, he's top, as long as he's top 12, which he is for both of us, he's a go. So
as far as on the other side of the ball or other side of the field, Joe Burrow. We're sitting there, and I think we're just watching him. Unless we're in super flex, we're just watching him see what he does. But maybe stashing him, going to have some boom, especially with his feet. You got him 26. I got him 22 at running back. Yeah, sure. We'll start Joe Mixon. You got him 10. I got him 7. We're not starting anybody behind him. That's for sure. AJ Green. We both got him exactly at 32. One behind consensus. Look at us. Tyler Boyd at 30 for you and 20 for me. Let's go. Tyler Boyd time, baby.
I love Tyler Boyd, man. I think this might be the lowest I have him all year. I just, I kind of want to see it from Burrow a little bit. We haven't seen him on the field yet, as you can say with all these rookies. Obviously, we're stating the obvious there, but
yeah, we haven't seen anybody on the field because it's game one.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have him right behind both Cleveland guys. Maybe I'll bump him up a little bit. He won't probably break like T.Y. Hilton at 24. I'm probably going T.Y. So I might bump him up a little bit just because I do think he is the guy to own there. But this is going to be interesting
with Boyd on the field or with
Green.
With Green on the field.
Yeah. And pay attention to AJ Green's injury status. He's a flex for me. There could be some guys that you drafted a little bit later that you might want to plug and play over him. Just keep an eye on it. He was limited in practice on Wednesday. So that's what we know at this point. Obviously, if you're following us both on Twitter, we'll highlight those types of things. But there's not anybody that I'm necessarily going to plug and play over him that was off the wire or any like late round guys.
There you go. All right. So let's fly out to New Orleans to see the Tampa Bay New Orleans game.
There it is. There it is. Well done. Well done.
All right. Tom Brady, I got him at 10. You got him at 13. It's kind of a, yeah, sure, I'll start him. But I don't think I'm necessarily loving it type play. And then at wide receiver, are you firing them both up? Or are you watching Evans' injury report closely?
Yeah, I'm watching Evans' status. He is somebody that if he's going to get Lattimore, I'm pretty sure from the Saints side, he usually plays outside, usually matches up against Evans and does a good job against him. So if you're talking about a hobbled Mike Evans, I hope that Evans is out there just to maybe keep Lattimore off Godwin. But Godwin for sure, he's a must start. He's the wide receiver one there for fantasy all year, in my opinion. I think this week's no different. So I have
what are you doing tight end?
Oh, nothing. I start Gronk, I guess. I'm at 10, but I don't love it. I mean, he's kind of the same opinion coming into the season. Like, I kind of want to see it a little bit. I think what I have, I'm at 10. Yeah, like Jarwin, maybe. Like that's kind of the one guy that maybe wasn't drafted, as much. So you have at 15. So you're going like Herndon.
Hell yeah, I'm rolling
Hockenson over him.
I doubt it. Do I?
Yeah, you do. I mean, these
barely.
These things are
okay, got him 9. Yeah.
So, but I think Herndon is an interesting one. I think that if you have that call, that's a route to go. I don't mind it. He's definitely outside of the range of like, just plug and play, right? If I have Gronk, I'm still kind of looking at the wire, like just to see if I have an open roster spot, if there's somebody I want to stream over him. But for now, you probably had to commit a top 7-8 round pick on him, so you probably just have to you're pot committed, I think,
and that's why I avoided him in drafts. You gotta when you go that high on that middle end tight end, you don't want to stream a guy over him. So that's a frustrating part about that right there. Real quick before we go, actually let's go to the running back scenario, right?
Yep.
Let's see.
So Fournette's 38 in consensus. When I pulled this for Fantasy Pros, maybe it goes up.
I got him 31. You got him at 24.
I just think he's the guy. I mean,
I don't think he's the guy this week. I got Ronald Jones at 28. You got him at 41. So I'm thinking just game plan wise, strategy wise. Tom Brady's like, all right, I've been practicing with this guy wise. I think they roll him out for the week. After this week, I could totally see all Fournette all day long. So, but
yeah, I don't like, I play Marlon Mack over him. Like if I had him, but like, I just don't, there's nobody else that is super interesting to me that I probably drafted behind him that I'm going to plug over Fournette this week. So I'm just going to roll him out there and see what happens. I mean, we're doing this with a lot of guys. I mean, this guy just got picked up there after being cut, close to the season, but we'll see, man. I think he's worth a stab, but consensus is with you, Ronald Jones over Fournette. So
the good part is if you do take a shot on one of them, if you want to take a shot on one of them, it should be a pretty high scoring game. It's Tampa Bay and all those weapons versus New Orleans and all those weapons. It should be a fun game, and that usually trickles down to the running backs getting in on the action too. So that's what I like about the opportunity for whichever one you want to call your shot on. So before we move on to the next team, I thought we were talking Atlanta this day, and we're not. We were talking about Atlanta yesterday.
Mhm.
You talked about you love Beckham pretty high, and I love Calvin. No, vice versa. I love Beckham. You love Ridley.
Yeah. Yep. I'll take that wager if you want. I got Beckham at 29. I got Ridley way up there at 13. I think that he's going to be putting up some big numbers this week. So we'll go Ridley versus OBJ. That's a solid one.
All right, there we go. That's a full wager wall right there, I think.
There we go. I'll bail you out. I mean, we were talking NFC South. So, I mean, I think it's a good time to bring Atlanta back into the discussion. So that's all.
I think that's what triggered it in the brain.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Let's go over to the Arizona San Francisco.
We didn't touch New Orleans, but I mean,
what we didn't?
No,
you're gonna start them all.
Yeah, I mean, you're starting.
You're gonna start Breeze. You're gonna start.
You're not starting. For me, I'm not starting. I think Jared Cook's the only one to consider. I guess he's at
13. You got him at 13. You
13. It's fine. He's 10.
I got him at 7. Yeah, he's streamable.
I go Jarwin over him. I guess that's really the only one. So other than that, yep, starting Thomas Kamara. No, I'm out on Sanders though altogether. So not yet, man. Drew Brees at home, man. I know Tampa's defense was pretty good to end the year, but Drew Brees is freaking studly. Just so on those numbers, Tampa Bay only gave up 5 passing touchdowns their final 6 games, but in the 2 matchups last year, New Orleans had 7 passing touchdowns. And one of those games was Teddy Bridgewater going off. So you're starting Drew Brees. It's at home.
Yeah.
Maybe when it gets back to Tampa, maybe that's a different story. But this is a nice 425 kickoff. Everybody should be able to watch this game. I'm looking forward to this one. So Tampa and New Orleans can be solid.
All right. Wow. All right. Arizona, San Francisco. Do you want to check your rankings real quick? See if you don't have an error here. I got Kyler Murray at 3. You have him at
14.
5 times as far down the line. You got him at 14. Damn, son. Wow.
So I understand that last year, San Fran was really, really good defense. Obviously, they're going to be just as good this year. Murray had 24 and 26 fantasy points last year, so I know he had some good games. He didn't have
Hopkins though.
He didn't have Hopkins, which just adds to it. Whatever. I don't want to bet. And if you're playing him, right? Like I'm not. There's nobody that I'm really gonna pick up and add.
Yeah.
Over him. Like I'm not starting Tyrod or Rivers or Carr or Minshew. Like those guys are all 30% owned or less. I'm not starting any of those guys over. So you're probably just going to play him, but I'm just lowering expectations for Murray just a bit. I do think this is a great defense. It's in San Francisco. I just think that they kind of hold him down and check a little. So
I'm a little bit Garoppolo over him. Damn.
Ugh. Yeah, I would straight up. Jimmy G was better than Murray in both games last year when Murray put up those monster performances. So
that's fair. That's fair.
For me, I think again, it's about expectations. I'm not benching him because it's unlikely that you own 2 quarterbacks if you own Kyler Murray. If you do, you should cut that other quarterback because you're going to play him every week. And I'm not. And I had Murray outside of that tier of 5 that everybody had him lumped in with. So I was maybe a little bit lower on him than some. But for this matchup, it's tough, but you're still playing him.
All right. So the only back you're starting in Arizona is Kenyon Drake, correct? I got him at 13. You got him at 17. He's a nice little upper end, middle end 2, and he can catch the ball. That's a nice thing for Kyler Murray. At wide receiver, you've got a couple wide receivers, but probably only one you're starting. That's Hopkins. We both have him at 7, so you're not even going to question that. You're going to start him there. So many other wide receivers there that can catch the ball and just fill in for him. Damn, 14. All right. Tight end. Do you have love for the tight end over there?
No. It's just those 3 guys. It's going to be that way. Maybe Kirk hopefully works his way into the conversation.
Sure.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Even in this tough matchup, you're still rolling those 3 guys.
Tristan
Kirk. Yeah. Kirk, I have buried, man. I don't even know. I mean, I had him buried before this season. Where do you have him at?
I got him at 60, which is 18 behind you at 42.
Yeah, consensus even has him at 45. I've usually been lower than consensus on Kirk. Just a tough matchup. Wait until a really good matchup comes along, and then we'll start putting Kirk up into consideration. But no dice on anybody else outside of those 3 guys for the Cardinals for me.
All right, you want to talk about a messier team that I'm not starting anyone but Kittle on, and that's San Francisco. I'll start Kittle, and you can have the rest of that show.
I'll start Jimmy G, 51% on right now. Arizona was dead last against the quarterbacks last season. Jimmy G had 30 and 35 fantasy points, 4 touchdown passes in each game against the Cardinals last season. I think his success continues to a decent extent. If I thought he was going to get 30, I'd put him in the top 5. But I'm playing him over Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, Kirk Cousins, Cam Newton, that group we've been talking about, Ryan Tannehill. I'm playing Jimmy G over him, and he is available in 49% of Yahoo leagues. So again, if you got the roster spot, I would burn the extra roster spot if I had like Newton or Cousins as my starter. Even like Joe Burrow, Daniel Jones, like those are guys you might have went in with your starter. Jimmy G this week, give him to me. Yep. I think Kittle's going to eat. And it could be Kendrick Bourne. It could be, who cares at wide receiver? There's nobody to necessarily start there. Hopefully Ayuk is out there. He's missed some time with practice recently, but I just think he gets it done enough. He gets you 2 to 3 touchdowns against this Cardinals defense.
How much do you like him over Cam? How much do you like him over Cam Newton?
I mean, I have Cam at 20 and I have Jimmy G at 12. So decent amount. Like for me, it's not a tough decision. I'm going to play Jimmy G. Okay. You want that action?
Yeah, I want that action. I already wrote it down, so I better take that action.
All right, that's a good one. I think that should be fun.
All right.
On the running back side, man, Raheem Mostert, I'm playing him, but I'm monitoring this situation big time, man. I have Tevin Coleman shares everywhere. He was dirt cheap. If you drafted him, you didn't commit a lot to him, and I think you have just about as good a shot as anyone in that backfield, really. I mean, and then we'll keep an eye on the McKinnon situation if he's heavily involved or not. If it's a 2-back system, I think they can both be started almost every week once we start getting into bye weeks.
I've got him at 23, which is only 4 spots behind you, 2 behind consensus, and I hate it. I just don't want to start him. That's just I don't want to guess that he's the man because that's a very confusing backfield to me.
If it was a tougher matchup, I might be worried about it. I just think the matchup is so cake, and even if they do like a normal split where it's like 55-45, it sucks for fantasy, right? Because it casts the upside, but I think he's going to be good enough to be the guy. And again, I have a lot of Coleman shares, so finger crossed that starts coming to fruition early.
All right, let's go to the game of the week in your mind.
Yeah.
Dallas goes to the Los Angeles Rams. Hold up,
opening up whatever the hell stadium that is over there. Yeah, first game, no fans, will be great.
Hey, they're used to it. Don't worry about it.
The Chargers are. I don't know about the Rams. I mean, I guess they didn't really pack it in either over there, but
yeah.
Anyway, man.
We're starting the quarterback, the running back. We're starting the tight end as a flex in Dallas. That's probably pretty easy for me. What about you?
Jarwin's at 11. So
actually, I have him at 16. I think I'm lower than you, which is surprising.
I'm rolling him. He's fine. If you drafted him as your starter, you can go with him. There's nobody that I'm picking up off the wire to replace him with. So we kind of mentioned a few of the tight ends we play him over.
What are you doing a wide receiver? That's probably the biggest question there.
Yeah, Cooper has been working on the side. Then it came out Wednesday, like, oh, he's working on the side doing like bands and shit. Well, then he says, oh, he's a full participant. So what was it? I get it. As far as if you're a little bit worried about rolling Cooper out there this week, I'm still gonna play him. He's wide receiver 22 for me. So if you're loaded at wide receiver, like if you drafted like DJ Chark as your 3, well, I think you plug him in over Amari Cooper this week. It's a tough matchup against Jalen Ramsey, who just got paid, and we've seen Cooper struggle against the big time corners. So I roll him out there as a flex, low end too. As long as, and the thing is, monitor that situation. It's a Sunday night game, so keep track of those practice reports. If he's a full go on Friday today, then you're good. You plug him in. You don't have to worry about it. Because it's a Sunday night game, you're going to have limited options as far as who you could plug in if he's out. So just keep that in mind, because honestly, like, I don't know if there's anybody off the wire on any of these other teams, unless like James Washington or something like that. And do you really want to be burning extra roster spots when you probably have good options on your bench that you could pivot to? So keep an eye on that.
Drafted really bad if you don't.
Exactly. It's gonna be a long season, but hopefully, if they listen to this show, everybody's in good shape. So
there you go. All right, and then Michael Gallup, you got him at 20, I got him at 28. So we're both saying go ahead and fire him up in your
plug him in.
And I should probably have him a little higher than that, especially since I'm not loving on his teammate Cooper. So
I think Gallup is big time in this game.
Now we want to sit there and just I've got 57 and you got 48 for CeeDee Lamb. Put a star by him. He's probably not on the waiver wire, but keep a watch out. See if somebody gives up on him after a couple weeks, because people tend to do that with wide receivers, especially once week 4 and the bye weeks come along.
Yep.
So pay attention to that. On the Rams side of the ball, you were loving Goff in the preseason, and I think you're still loving him. We're both liking him. We're both saying start him. 7 for you, 11 for me. So I don't think we're questioning that. At running back, probably more questions.
Dude, I looked, by the way, at Jared Goff is only owning 68% of Yahoo leagues.
Really?
So that either means that 32% of leagues suck, or people aren't paying attention. Like, what are we doing here? I don't see there's any reason not to have Jared Goff on your team. Like, I mean, it's crazy to me that he is that under-owned. Like, I think he's like QB 17 or 18 in ownership percentage. It's crazy to me. So I think he's going to get hot out of the gate here. So yeah, top 12.
The running backs for the Rams, you're wait and see on them for this week?
Yeah, I like Akers. I have him at 30 right now in the sheet that we're looking at. I'm probably going to
27 right there.
Yeah, I'm going to bump up maybe a couple spots. But I think as far as like the rookie running backs go, like I have a little bit more confidence in him, even though they've come out. They said it's a committee and all that. I think he's going to be the guy. So fading it a little bit this week, but he's a flex if you need.
Yeah, they've also made it sound like Henderson was healing up, possibly to probably make a little bit of a thorn in his side.
Yeah,
basically. Cup and Woods, as long as they're both healthy, fire them both up. Great 1-2s, high 2s, middle 2s, sometimes low 1s, sometimes big 1s for Cup.
Yep.
So not questioning there, staying away from the other wide receivers on that team till further notice. And then this tight end crap. Let's get over here. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, what's going on with your boy?
Okay, for those who don't know, 2 of my boys for many years have been Devontae Parker and Tyler Higbee. And why do you say that? Because in DFS 1 week they won me some money. The only week I played them, and so hey, I a little attachment there, a little sentimental. And who can't avoid saying Higbee because it's just fun to do. So I don't like his scenario for this year until I see it. I don't mind him. If you had a spot to bench him to hide him on the end of the bench, that's fine. Are they rolling 12 personnel? Is Gerald Everett going to come out there and eat up each other's space? I've got Everett at 33. You've got the NA sign next to him. And then Tyler Higbee, if I can learn how to spell. I got him at 19. You've got him at 6. And I think I have more at 19 this week because I want to see it. I don't doubt the talent. I don't doubt he's athletic. Yeah. Is Van Jefferson going to get out there and take over for Cooks, and then they're not going to need a 12 personnel scenario, but then is he going to be out there full time? I just want to see it. That's all.
Yeah, I hear you. I think I totally get it. That's where I was down on Higbee from the standpoint of this
You're
season
6,
long,
baby. You're
not for this week. This week, I think I'm just gonna, there's a lot of question marks. I'm rolling them out there until we see that it doesn't happen, because in draft season, I was lower than consensus. Not as low as you were, but I was lower than consensus because I didn't think it was a slam dunk that he did even half of what he did at the second half of last year. But now you're committed to it, right? So we're just talking about 1 week, all right, I'll throw him out there 6th in my rankings. I think that this is a high scoring game. I think there's opportunities for everybody that's on the field to find the end zone. So
that's
I really like
gold right there. Touchdowns are tight end gold.
Exactly.
All right. Speaking of non-tight end gold, let's go to Pittsburgh. Maybe. We'll see. Pittsburgh and New York Giants. There are 2 games on Monday. This is definitely a pay attention, folks. Yep. You don't want to have a guy who's possibly injured unless you have a backup plan, and you just want to pay attention. So Pittsburgh and the New York Giants at 6:15 Central, Tennessee and Denver at 9:10 p.m. kickoff. Rest in peace.
Von Miller, baby. That sucked, dude. I was so disappointed to hear that for you guys, because
I know. Let's not skip that whole Pittsburgh New York Giants game. Let's get over to that. Pittsburgh for Big Ben. You got him at 8. I got him at 23. So you're loving him. I've got a little wait and see approach for him there. And a lot of guys I like above him, but I could definitely see him chucking the ball around the field quite a bit. At running back, we both love James Conner, at least like him, 14 and 15. So you're starting him. We're not touching any running backs behind that. Juju at 17 for you, 27 for me. I think it's all that wait and see with me. That's all it is there.
He's 10 in consensus. I think if you got him, you're playing him.
And yeah, that's probably true.
I'm just not. I don't. Do you want to go? This is a perfect. I don't know. Are we maxed out on the wagers? Because we could go.
If we are, we'll find another one. Don't worry about it.
We could go with Juju and Thielen because I have Juju at 17. You have Juju at 27. I have Adam Thielen at 27. You have Adam Thielen at 17. I mean, that's a match.
That's not even a question, is it?
I think we're on the same page though, from the stance of like, I don't want to fully commit to putting Juju as a top 12 wide receiver until I know Ben's healthy. But I do think that there's enough talent between Smith-Schuster and Deontay Johnson, James Washington, and what Connor can do out of the backfield that I think Ben can still have a monster week. With maybe not one guy having a monster week in the receiving game. I think they can all be solid. But I'm starting Juju as wide receiver too.
Yeah, yep. Start him. The other wide receivers on the team: Deontay Johnson, 48 for me, 34 for you, 38 for consensus. So, don't get maybe somewhere in flex.
Yeah, don't get crazy. I mean, he got a lot of hype. He was being drafted a little bit earlier. That's great. But even when the consensus is even that low on him, he's not an auto plug and play. I mean, I do think that you got to take a look and consider, what you have. I think he's an okay flex, like you said.
Yeah, Ebron consensus 20, 22 for you, 24 for me. We're staying away.
Yeah, no thanks.
That's why I was going with that tight end joke at the beginning. So,
yeah, no doubt.
I wasn't going towards Ingram, who we would start on the Giants, who's 9, 9, and 8. So that's an easy plug and play for this week. Mm-hmm. But the quarterback scenario, Daniel Jones, 17 for me, kind of high. Not really looking forward to it. And he only gets to 17 for me because he's chasing points and he likes to use his legs a little. Otherwise, against Pittsburgh defense, he probably wouldn't even be getting that high for me. So 2 QB, let's go. Single QB, no thank you. Consensus 26, 27. So nah.
Dude, and yeah, you can't play Daniel Jones this week. Even in Superflex, I mean, you might have a better third quarterback option. I mean, really take a look at it. If you own Daniel Jones, go get Tyrod Taylor right now. This is your warning. Go do this. Tyrod Taylor, mentioned him just a little bit ago, but his matchups: Bengals, Chiefs, Panthers. Awesome. First 3 weeks. Daniel Jones's first 3 matchups: Pittsburgh, Chicago, and San Francisco.
Jesus.
Holy crap. Get the hell away from Daniel. I like Daniel Jones. I think once he clears that, he's going to be money. You could buy him up. If at any point I talk about some trade targets after the first few weeks, which I think this season might be kind of bigger deal than ever to kind of target those guys to get off the slow starts. Daniel Jones is going to be a guy that I think you're going to want it down the stretch, but you sure as hell don't want it as you start these first 3 weeks. Tyrod Taylor, 8% own. Go do it right now. Hit pause, go add Tyrod Taylor, and then come back and finish the rest of the show.
There you go. You heard the man. When you go over to the running back side, are you going to start Mr. Saquon Barkley or probably leave him on your bench? Start him.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
I got distracted. So
I know. I thought I screwed with you.
I was like,
simple one. I was like, he paused way too long.
I'm listening like, oh shit, he's talking about Saquon Barkley. What are we talking about here? Yeah, you're playing Saquon Barkley. Good call. Damn.
Wide receivers. We go to Sterling Shepard. You've got him down at 37. I got him at 46. So we're not loving him. We might flex him in. Tate, we're waiting to see what his deal is. You got a hashtag NA. I got him at 38. So if he's not playing, he's not healthy, we're definitely not putting him in. Duh.
Yeah.
And analysis. And then Slayton, 41 for you, 54 for me. So we're just not loving any of these wide receivers on the Giants. That's the easy and short way to say it. Tight end. Start the tight end. Start the running back. And I'll talk to you next week about that.
I think just keep an eye on Tate. He's missing some time. And with being the Monday night game, not a lot of options. You can steer clear. You have other options. He was drafted super late. I'd go Shepard of that group if you're looking for somebody, but tough matchup here. And let's go to the final game, man. It's your team closing out the week.
Hell to yeah. That's the Tennessee Titans and the Denver Broncos. 9:10 p.m. game. You better have your stuff in order. Better make sure you got the people you want playing. Make sure nobody got injured. But on Tennessee, would you start? I don't think either one of us would. Tannehill, I got him at 20. You got him at 24. Not really interested there.
No.
We're both starting Mr. Derrick Henry, 6 for you, 9 for me. AJ Brown, 12 for you, 14 for me. Definitely starting him. Let's see. Where's Corey Davis? 42 for me and 8 for you.
No, not
right.
playing him. If you're looking Tannehill, by the way, it's again the same options we kind of been talking about, but again, all under 30% owned. Tyrod, Phil Rivers, Derek Carr, Gardner Minshew, all those guys are available. I'm picking up any of those guys to play over Tannehill on Monday night.
Yeah, the same thing that helps Tannehill this game also helps Derrick Henry, and that's my broken ankle boy or whatever ankle boy is.
It does stink that already, man. That sucks.
Yeah. All right. So that's pretty much it on the wide receiver side. At tight end for Tennessee versus Denver, Jonnu Smith. You got him 15. I got him 14. You could stream him. I'm not excited about it.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. I just want to see him have more snaps. Like that was the concern. Like for me, looking at last year, he was the guy. Like Delaney Walker was there, but he was gone like right out of the gate. So Jonnu had a lot of games where his snap percentage was concerning to me. So I don't mind if you got to stream him, but I'm not overly excited about it yet until I see him get a little bit more involved in that offense.
All right. So I think you should lock this next guy up for the week and just not start him. That's Drew Lock. 26 for me, 28 for you. Thank you very much. Let's talk about the crazy running back scenario over there. You trusting anybody this week? I feel like we have to go and at least start Melvin Gordon. Us and consensus straight across the board, right at 20. He's an RB2, high-end flex.
Yeah, I think Melvin is fine. He's right where you drafted him pretty much. Like I took him in this last draft I did today before the season, which if you're listening to this today is before the season starts. I think Gordon is fine. This is an interesting one to see how it pans out. Even if the workload is split 50-50, is that as long as Gordon is getting the receptions and the goal line work, then he's valuable, right? And he's the guy to own. You play him, no doubt. So he's 20. He's 20th for consensus for you and for me. My question for you is, I mean, did you rinse your shoes off after you were done burying Philip Lindsay out back? What the hell, man? You got this guy at 58? Sure. What's that about? All
right. Are the Broncos going to win this game?
They could. I think they could.
Do you think they should?
I picked them as a playoff team on my prediction show. Did you hear?
Does it start on this week, though?
Yeah. Let's go, man. Get the dub.
I don't know that they really win this game. Even if they do win this game, I don't think they're like commanding a lead that just says give the ball to Lindsay a bunch of times. Mm-hmm. Allegedly, the pass catching back isn't Lindsay, and that's going to lean the game script more towards Melvin Gordon. So that's not going to help Lindsay's favor any. Mm-hmm. So I just don't love it. I don't love it for this game. It doesn't. Not that I hate Lindsay. You saw what he's done the last 2 years. He's been great. I just don't love him for this game. I'm not feeling it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I'm with you. 39. I'm below consensus as well. Not to where you are, but he's not somebody I'm looking. Flex. I'm not plugging him in. Like I play the Miami guys over him. This week, like I'd play Carry On over him pretty easily. I'm with you. I get it. I just thought it was funny. Like, damn, this guy is completely. He's in the Josh Kelly range, and I love Josh Kelly, but bang.
That's my anti-homer bias going on right there.
I dig it. That's okay.
All right, at wide receiver, I'm definitely starting Cortland Sutton. I have him at 19. You got him at 14. You're loving on him a little harder than me. Consensus has him down to 24, so we're both loving him more than consensus. But let's do that all day long. Then what are you? Any interest in starting? Jerry Jeudy, 56 for me, 54 for you.
Not yet.
Rankings.
Not yet.
Nope. And that was the best one of the rookies. So, all right, we'll leave that alone.
Not yet on Jeudy, but stash.
Noah, fantastic. 17 for me, 19 for you, and 14 for consensus. So, yeah, maybe you stream them, but
I've never heard that before.
Noah, fantastic.
No.
You are kidding, right?
No, I'm not. I don't.
Well, damn layup.
I don't listen to as many podcasts as I used to, man.
I don't know that I heard on anybody else's, but
that's pretty good. I'll give you credit for that one.
It's not really a lock, but I would still use it.
Oh, Jesus. All right. I'd steer clear if you can. I want to see it kind of playing like you're saying. And unfortunately, we got to say that more than usual because we literally have seen nothing, no preseason games at all. But
not that preseason games are normally great, but they're better than the nothing.
A little something in there. Yeah. Yep. So,
all right. Well, that's all the shows for this slate.
Yeah, done. Dude. This was a ton of fun. Obviously, a full 16 games here. Going to be rolling this for the next couple weeks. I think this was good. Let us know if you guys have any feedback. Hit us up on Twitter. Again, you can follow me at KyleFFFellas. Gonna have the rankings updated throughout the weekend. Just keep an eye over there. If any news comes out, if anybody's ruled out, I'll adjust. Usually on Friday or Saturday, I post kind of a summary of what adjustments have been made to my rankings and things. So, but as of now, man, this is the best information we got. So hopefully you guys found this helpful, getting those lineups set for week 1. I mentioned this yesterday's podcast, but if you're looking for a little extra edge on the rest of your league, check out my waiver wire sniping article. It drops on Saturday over at Ball Blast Football. If you're following me again at KyleFFFellas, it's usually posted up there sometime around Saturday morning, afternoon. But it gives you a list of guys that you can target off the wire for free before kickoff that week. And those are going to be the guys that probably everyone's going to be looking for the next week. And it gives you that little extra edge getting ahead of your competition. So, but Bob, dude, this was a ton of fun, man. I really enjoyed this and kind of our first forte into the previews, but I'm looking forward to more weeks and of course the waiver wire next week, man.
Yeah, it's our first dance. We'll condense it down a little bit more for you guys. We'll get down a little more. I'll get a few less dad jokes in there. Doubt it. All right, I can be found on Twitter at Bob's3Toad, on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. That's where you'll find that extra show where we do the live stream and we recap some of last week's excitement, the Sunday games, Saturday games, Monday games. Saturday games later in the season, obviously. But Thursday games too. Just all the games.
Yeah.
We just have some fun with it and have a good time. Usually have, 2, 3, 4, 5 guests on there. So make sure you subscribe on YouTube at Bob's3Toad Warriors, on Twitter, Bob's3Toad. Don't hesitate to shoot a sit start question. You can at me and Kyle. See who gives you the best answer there. We might start our own fight right there on your timeline. It could be really cool. So, all right, that's it for this show. Soon enough, already happened because Thursday's gone. Don't forget to set those lineups, hit the waiver wire, dominate your opponents. We'll see you.
See you guys.
Week 1 already damn happened. Let's go. Week 1, baby.